Well, hello, and welcome back to the return of the Obra Dinn here on Buto Plays Whatever. In our previous episode, we went gangbusters. We're up to 36 people, 24 remain, and that's the way it is. That's the head count. We made a lot of progress in the last one due to just straight greatness. But we need to keep on this train. We need to kind of figure out who is left over here. We've identified most people in our photograph as far as what killed them, and we need to keep up on this trend. And that's an assumption right there. I'm hoping that that's the correct guy. Speared by the enemy, Jinzang. So those obviously, unless we're just missing, we might just be missing a person. I mean, there is this guy over here who was shot by a woman, if I remember correctly, which is where we're going to check on out the escape. That's the part we need to head back to, because there's something about that doesn't quite feel quite correct. Now, what part are you? So you are the escape, right? The escape, which is chapter 9, which of course chapter 10 is the doom, right? No, it's the end. Emily Jackson fell overboard to her death. Miss Jane Bird fell overboard to death. Met an unknown fate. Harry Evans fell overboard to death. Now, these are assumptions. These are, of course, assumptions here. We don't know what happened to him. We just know kind of what went down. They're up, so I'll stay with you. Tell Pete's mother I tried my best to pull him back. Save him. Now, this guy right here, he was knifed by Ola's waiter. We know this. Now, this guy said he tried to save Pete. Pete. If I remember correctly, this was during the part where that guy exploded on at. Now, Pete is one of the midshipmen, Peter Milroy. And we also have Mr. Thomas Lanky, who is the other main. So he's obviously not Peter Milroy, and he seems to have some sort of prestige about him. So I mean, he might be Thomas Lanky for all I know, but it's not looking like that unless we're wrong on some of these other ones, which is a possibility. But he tried to save Pete, and I believe Pete was during, I mean, it was during the monsters, the end right there where that guy exploded on that. I mean, we haven't identified the guy that exploded yet. He was on, I mean, which we labeled one guy. This guy exploded. I mean, he might be Pete because if I remember correctly, he was trying to pull him on back. I mean, so I'm gonna slap a Pete on him. Was blasted by an explosion. Yeah, because he exploded. Okay, the monster had him. But he exploded, which it doesn't look like that's quite correct. So we'll have to kind of go back and take a look at some things. But who do we got here? It doesn't explain. But this is that's almost the end. This is the escape. Chapter 9, the escape. Let's take a look at this and see who shot this man.
Let them go!
So he was shot by one of the two ladies, assuming that this guy's correct. And this was one of the other guys. He got shot by the captain, correct? He was killed by an unarmed swordsman. So we'll have to check that out relatively quick. Now this was who we think is Davy James. Hasn't really been confirmed yet. But we got the doctor down there. Oh, we got one lady. And I know the doctor is also present. Right, we've come to this. Now he was blasted by one of the two chicks. I mean, we can make assumptions. I mean, it could be Emily Bird. I mean, if we're able to figure that out, it'd be a little bit easier on us. Let's see, passenger. So, I mean, Miss Jane Bird. No. And then, of course, the other one being Emily Jackson. Yep. Okay. Well done indeed. 3 more fates. Knock them down, baby. So he was Leonard Volkov. And that was Peter Milroy that exploded. Okay. And that's Thomas Lanky. Oh, okay. Well, that works. That's even better. So, Thomas... Where the hell are we on at? God damn it. Where's my... Okay. Thomas. No. Galligan. Well, they're under the midship, man. Well, give me a tab here. No, give me a tab. Give me a Q then. Give me the crew. So, where are they on at? Helmsman. Shot by Henry Brennan. No, no, no. First mate's midshipman. So 33. Okay, so Peter Milroy checked off. Thomas Lanky identified. He was the guy that exploded. And then Mr. Volkov, number 45. Mark him off my list. Now, he was shot by Miss Emily Jackson. You are Miss Emily Jackson. Actually, we had that correct. And so you must be Miss Jane Bird on over here. Miss Jane Bird. We're down. We're. Oh man, we are so close. We are coming in hot. Coming in so hot. We're so close to the very end here. It's the best. Oh, so these people found the boat, and I kept thinking that they got knocked off. And I don't think that's the case at all. So, what scene are we on in? Gosh darn it. No, just go ahead. Oh man, what scene are we on in? God darn it. Scene! I feel like I'm writing something, the journey. So we're at the escape. Scene. Not this one, that was the first one. Oh. Well, we know exactly who killed this guy. It was Mr. Volkov. Well, that helps out. Russia. Leonard Volkov killed this man. Okay, well, that'll make it a little bit easier. Because we know Mr. Volkov very well now. Okay. Let them go. And then that happened downstairs during this time. And then that happened. So they escaped. So I guess they didn't fall. I mean, it's not the end. So I kept thinking there was the people that were in that boat that got capsized during the horrible end. So if they just escaped, they're alive. Right? I don't know about that. Where are they alive on that? Where the hell are we at? give me the journey. So where are we at? So we're in chapter 9. Where is chapter 9 on that? Or yeah, chapter escape. So they're either in Azores. No. God damn. God. I keep trying to scroll left to right. So they could be in the Canary. I mean, they're right here. So, I mean, they could have made it to Azores, Madeira, the Canary Islands, Africa, or Europe. That's pretty insane. And that's a lot of different places. You, Miss Jane Bird. So, you're alive. Right? Wow. That's so many places. I mean, there's only one. Azores, Canary Islands, Europe, or Africa. I mean, we'll start at the top. I mean, there's no other. You just gotta go down the list, man. Just gotta go down the freaking list. You escaped. And you guys all went to Africa. Why the hell would you go to Africa? It's so far away. I mean, are the Canary Islands and stuff not inhabited or something? Okay, Henry Evans, and then the two gals. Oh my god, we're getting there. Oh my god. Okay, where are the two gals at? Okay, Emily Jackson, Miss Jane Bird. Off of my list. So, you were killed by Leonard Volkov. Who else is there? This guy had that unknown fate. We don't know what happened to this guy. He just disappeared in the Doom. It's not giving me any more than he just straight disappeared in Doom. Maybe he was one of those guys that was in the boat? Because apparently, I mean, there was those 3 shipmen in the boat. So right now, we're just going to say that, I mean, he could have drowned. I mean, what happens if I push drown? We don't know. I was going to say he fell overboard because they were all just kind of flung up in the air. I'm assuming this is the guy because everybody else we have explanations for. Where is fell overboard? Fell overboard. I don't know who he is, though. I'm assuming that he fell overboard. But that's obviously not correct, and he's probably not Nicholas Botterill. Okay, so... And this guy isn't correct either, possibly? No, because we have who shot him. And we labeled this guy as the top man, Mr. Timothy Bootman, but I don't recall if he was actually up there or not. Okay, who else? We don't know what happened to the captain's steward. This guy got decapitated by the beast. He perished in Soldiers of the Sea. Maybe he's the topman. Okay, so who else we got? We got Crushed, Speared, Sword by Leonard Volkov. He was spiked. We don't know who he is. The steward's Galligan, who was the second mate during the Soldiers of the Sea when he was out there. I think we have everybody correctly identified during that part. Since we're here, let's just go ahead and take a look at this real quick.
Last one. Move quick.
Boy, you'll not take the last punch.
Oh, look out!
Yeah, Paul. Wait. Oh. I mean, just Paul, look out. I mean, Paul Moss. Really? Paul, look out. We don't know what happened to the purser. So, yeah, Paul Lookout. So this is Paul Moss. And we don't... He came back on the boat. So, what does this say is his last... He disappeared in the escape. So maybe he's alive too. Because if it says he didn't die... This is when things get real. I need to unbookmark you, bro. So Davy James. So what happened to this guy? So he perished in Soldiers of the Sea. First memory is on page 48. Clear the deck. And I'm just not seeing... And I'm still on the search for that tattoo as well. So that's Mr. Paul Moss. Okay, so Paul Moss was killed. We have this. Speared by beast Samuel Galligan. We assume that's Samuel Galligan. David James, we don't know what happened to him. He just kind of disappeared. But this guy was straight spiked. We're assuming this is Nicholas Botterill. We don't know who this guy is. Spiked. All these guys, we don't know what happened to this man either. He just disappeared in the doom. I mean, this guy's collar... We're all out of hats, and one of the person we haven't gotten yet is the helmsman. I mean, there's no hats. We're also... Who is apparently Persian. Does that guy look Persian? From India? The ship's steward? We only got 2 pages left. There's only 2 pages left. I mean, he could be the ship's steward. Spiked by a terrible beast. Is it gonna... Would it rather be enemy? I mean, he died. He perished in the Calling Part 3. We know how this guy died. Mr. Paul Moss was killed by a sword by Mr. Volkov. This is a fact. I am more than certain this is Mr. Galligan. Let's head down to that particular part to take a look to see if... I swore it was a beast that speared him. Like, this is a fact. Give me the group. Scroll me on down. And where did this guy die? He's spiked by a terrible beast during the Soldiers of the Sea Part 7. And this guy was speared during the Calling Part 3. Which was out there. So who are you? No. No. Where is the Calling Part 3 on it? Part 2. Part 3. Oh, Hagen, you still breathing. Accessible only through another corpse. Which happens in Part 4 with Miss Lim. Okay. Okay, let's identify some people. We know this guy, Mr. Edmund Nichols. We don't know this guy. Was this Mr. O'Hagan? There's a whole lot of dead people over here. This is Mr. Lee Hong. We know you. Oh, Hagen, are you still breathing? That's the way this started on out? I mean, O'Hagan was a boatsman. No, he was one of the commanding guys. Have we already identified Mr. O'Hagan? No, he's number 58. From Ireland. I mean, it's either this guy or this guy. Who looks more Irish? Maybe he is O'Hagan. I don't know. If the guy's talking to him in the boat, he was speared by a beast. Killed by sword by F. Dahl. Fell overboard. I mean, there's not... Helmsman. Purser. Third mate. I mean, there's not a whole lot of guys left over here. I mean... Mrs. Lynn. Leon. Samuel Galligan. That guy is Paul. He is Paul Moss for certain. I mean, he might not be the second mate. Possibly David James? Maybe he's not. The helmsman? No. I mean, the guy's got this coat. It makes me feel like he's of some importance. He does not look like either one of those guys. I cannot see his tattoo. Alesky Toporov. No. Sir Jonathan Naples. Hamadou Dion. No. Alexander Booth. No. Charles Shirley. Shirley, you can't be serious. No. Okay. We'll go back and we'll slap him with Mr. Galligan again. And that's, of course, just an estimated guess. Wait a goddamn second. Look at that guy holding that. Wait, not the ship's steward. Helmsman. Yeah, okay. Look at that guy holding that freaking wheel. Finley Dalton. That's Patrick O'Hagan. And Mr. Paul Moss. It's just all of a sudden you just notice him. You notice that guy holding the freaking wheel. You're just like, what the hell? Okay. I feel a little bit better. Okay, so Mr. Paul Moss, Roderick Anderson. So let's go. He has to be, gosh, I don't know. Okay, let's sap the ship's steward back on him. He was spiked by a terrible beast. He might have been speared for all I know. Okay. And that one guy met his fate. He said he met his fate right here. Wait. Part 3? Part 2? Who were we originally investigating? Part 3. Okay. So, it was you? Part 1. Part 3. It's like, come on down and we'll figure out something else. What the hell? Okay.
O'Hagan, you still breathing? Can you roll? Nichols, sir, shoot them for God's sake!
So this is where this guy perished. Honestly, it kind of looks like he was strangled. I don't know where I got speared from. We're gonna go strangled by as soon as you give me your name, I know who it is. Right? By Bing Sa. Okay. So definitely kind of looks like he was strangled. I don't know where I got... Wait. No, wait a second. That's a knife. No, 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 no. He was knifed. But it being saw. Damn, right in the back of the neck. Okay, we have this, we have that. This guy fell overboard. That's Patrick O'Hagan. O'Hagan, you still breathing? And the guy that said that, it couldn't have been Nichols. He sounds Irish. Samuel Galligan. Who we have is... It could have been that guy. Wait. What's your arm? That's your left arm. What does your right arm look like? He has to be a seaman. He's smoking a pipe? Is that any indication of anything? I mean, he could be... He could be any one of these guys. He was killed by the captain's steward. I mean, he might be a seaman as well. I mean, I don't know. He might be a topman. Where the hell is Sierra Leone on it? We're going to slap that on him. I believe he's a seaman. Mr. Alexander Booth? I would really like to see your... Really like to see your tattoo, bro. He wasn't one of the Russian gentlemen. Unknown steward, unknown topman. No, I'm pretty certain that the other guy is it. So we're just gonna go with unknown officer. Man, I'd love to see that tattoo. Okay, so this guy was knifed. That guy fell overboard, that other guy was knifed. Who else do we need to kind of identify something with here? We don't know what happened to Mr. Martin Perot. It actually doesn't tell us. Crushed Samuel Galligan, who we're assuming was knifed. We're just assuming that he's Zungi Sathi. Thomas Lanky, man, we're really starting to knock him on down. I mean, can we get... I mean, we have... He was definitely shot by Mr. Edward Nichols. We don't... I can't assume he was a top man. Let's head back to that top man post as this episode ends. And see who's left up top. The mainsail hold up. Who do we have left up here? You, we know you. Mr. Wheelie. Well, this guy's a topman. And we know you. Mr. Volkov. We know you, Mr. Walker. Well, if you're a topman... Who the heck did we have labeled as Zing? Gimme. We had this guy labeled as Jay's Z. But this guy. He definitely looks a little more Chinese than that other man. Yeah, his garments. Okay. So if that's him... We're assuming this guy's a topman. I mean, we slapped Knickers Butterell on this guy. We don't know. He could just be an unknown topman for all I know. He might be a seaman for all the hell I know. But if he's hanging out with the topman crew, he's probably a freaking topman. Can we just go unknown topman? No. Oh, those are just to mark them. Okay. Now I feel stupid. Okay. Nicholas Botterill? No. Could you be Timothy Buteman? Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Get knocking him on out. Mr. Samuel Galligan. Pleasure to meet you. Timothy Buteman. Didn't even get to see his tattoo. And Ji Zhang. Whew. Mr. Ji Zhang. Pleasure to meet you. Okay. We're down to the nitty gritty, everybody. We're down to the freaking nitty freaking gritty. Oh man, baby. It makes me feel good. So, we know everybody up here. We know Mr. Wheelie. We know this guy. We know that guy. We know him. We know him. We know him. Everybody is known up here. These people are known as I take this walk along this scabbard here. Are you known? Can I see you from here? I think he was one of the carpenters. Okay. Whew. Ooh, that feels good. So give me a tab. Give me a Q. Give me the, it's not what I wanted. I wanted the crew. So who is left over here? So, Marpro, we know who he is. We just don't know what happened to him. Duncan McKay the purser is one of the people left. I'm assuming he'd be wearing a hat. But that's yet to be determined. We labeled the ship's steward from India as spiked. Philip Dahl, the captain's steward, was unknown. He got brisked away. Davy James is the fourth mate, left to be fulfilled. Nicholas Botterill has to be determined. Alexei Toporov, Nathan Peters, John Naples, Alexander Booth, and George Shirley. Shirley, you can't be serious? I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. No, give me a Q, baby. So, we had slapped Nicholas Botterill on this guy, and obviously it's wrong in some sense, but we'll slap Nicholas Botterill back on this guy again. He is hanging out. I mean, we don't know these other guys. I mean, how many top men are left? Just one. Well, this is the only top man he's over a part of the crew. That's Nicholas Botterill. We're gonna slap that right there. He's hanging out with the top men crew. So if these guys are all top men, we know these guys. We don't know what happened to Mr. Nathan Peters just yet. Which is Zhang. But these guys are looking more and more just like regular seamen to me. Anyway, Mr. Paul Moss, Sammy Gilligan, Roger James, and when we slap this guy, he disappeared in the escape. Zungthi Sasai, Sathi. I mean, maybe he's not. He's over there with that coat, so maybe this guy. Is the ship's steward, and this guy could be Mr. Davy James. He looks like he could be a Davy James, and this guy could be the ship's steward. We're also missing, so we're just looking. Basically, it's just down to these seamen over here. Interesting. So we're gonna slap ship's steward on this guy. He doesn't say where he disappeared. He might have just escaped. But that's all the time I got for today, ladies and gentlemen. We are down to the precious few people. Oh my god. Oh my god. We don't know what happened to this guy. So we're gonna have to try to make some assumptions about him. And this guy, we're assuming these two dudes are seamen. I mean, that's all left. I mean, we do have a single top man position, but that's what we're fixating on him. He was speared by Beast. We all know they're supposed to be beasts. So speared by Beast. This guy got pushed on out. We actually don't know if he might have been just straight crushed. Both of these guys. But we don't. I mean, this guy was spiked. I'm assuming that he's of course a seaman. I mean, I just slapped it on that one guy. But that's not necessarily true. I don't know. We'll have to investigate a little bit further to see if we can kind of distinguish these guys. But yeah, that's it for today. So until next time, everybody, you take it easy, and I'll see you around. Peace.